it's more like maybe he didn't see an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then she gave him signals.
Yeah. So do you guys think that every single male in your life that you're not related to has looked at you like that?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, whether they have or whether they haven't, if you offer it up, they're going to take it. Facts.
But what if they
Facts.
don't?
No, but they would.
I feel like
Every single man.
Try your phone. I guarantee you.
Yeah, please try.
Yeah, try. Come on.
Come on. Sorry, for real. She's with someone.
But well, and it's funny too, because if you ask guys about this, like they'll tell you, like they know how. Like, haven't you ever heard a guy say, "I know how men think"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna read super chats and then we're gonna watch a video. Okay.
All right.
Bodybuilding lifestyle. My best friend slept with my girlfriend. It's a no. Carlos X. Most men have low standards for one base home run. Don't flatter yourself. Most of your guy friends can get busy and go right back to the ball game. Blackest Panther. Those call her friends is exactly what we're talking about. Dudes do not talk to their male friends like that. Dudes were talking to her. Men code switch because women can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's what it
LP
is.
Berkshire, Pearl
But
is the
then,
goat.
here's the problem. If you have intentions from the beginning, you probably will have more success. See, this is where the guys mess up. If you let a female know your intentions from the beginning, you're not getting into that friend zone. I'm telling you.
Chief Keef, and that's why women deserve less. Myron Gaines. Pearl, I asked what parent takes criticism. What parent takes criticism better? Zero Fallout 1. The problem is women go on to marry the stable. Oh, I read that one already. Blessing, can we watch the video?
Okay.
Relationship like now with Tommy? Are you in touch with him at all, or do you just kind of?
I mean, text here and there. You know, nothing too
Oh,
crazy. I mean,
he getting
he's
that
married
wet, bro. He getting that baseball bat wet.
and happy, and she's good to him, and I totally support that and think that's great. So, I mean, I hate to be annoying and going through this again. I'm pretty sure she's annoyed, but I respect their relationship and just glad he's happy and he has somebody.
Do your boys like him,
this.
or are they estranged? They do.
No,
they like him.
No, they see him all the time. They see him all the time, and I think that this movie too is kind of like a love letter to their parents. They know.
Look at those
they come
kids,
from
man.
true
They
love.
hate her.
They want people.
This you can tell they hate her. Look at that. They're not happy.
To see the real story, and I thought that was kind of cute and kind of charming and really.
That's rough to look.
You know, Brandon is very artistic and really wanted to show the story from a real, true, authentic perspective.
It was really well done, and I enjoyed it. Sometimes I found myself going, I wonder if I said to Pam, well, do you have any regrets? Like, do you think there were certain things in life, or would you just do it all over the same exact way? Was it a fun ride, or was it tragic or miserable? How do you assess it?
It was all of it, but it was more good times than bad, and yeah, I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, I just feel like it was just this wild ride. And I made it home in one piece. I came back to the place I grew up in. I bought the house of my grandmother, and I'm living in it. And I'm looking at my life from the same place my feet touched the ground when I was a baby. I mean, I look at it all like a movie.
Sound like bullshit.
Do you think women learn from their mistakes typically?
Dang, that's a good question.
Maybe they have to be repeated again and
Yeah,
again
that.
to learn. I think.
She made
they learn
those.
eventually.
She's
Yeah.
usually using her kids as son husband energy, and she won her ex husband. You can tell.
It's difficult to learn things from the first time of making a mistake. I think so.
I think
Or
it depends
maybe
on the
some-
woman. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I think it depends on the woman and where she is in her life.
PC answer.
Probably not, but there are some who do.
Very low.
But in general, you would say no.
I mean, I can only, for me...
Lady, just tell the truth. My goodness, Lord. You have to put a gun in their head. That way they can tell the truth.
I learned, but in general, I probably think no.
No.
Okay, yeah, let's go
Most are
there.
in a vicious cycle.
It just never ends.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're chasing something.
What do you guys think? Do you think in general women learn from their mistakes or no?
Like I said, eventually. But it takes a while to get
How
there.
many times?
I'd say on average maybe 3.
3 times.
The delusion is in display.
It's very
For
specific.
My
3
God.
times for how many years?
Oh,
How many months?
I'd say 3 times with the person. Like I feel like
Oh, after
in
the
terms
third
of
time you
learning,
break up.
yeah, I feel like in terms of learning your mistakes as well, it comes into growing up and your age and stuff. Like the same chances I would have given someone, I don't know, a few years ago, I wouldn't give them now. Like now, it would take me longer to learn. I mean, take me quicker to learn than it would have before. If that makes sense.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on where you are in your stage of growth and what you have experienced before and how you've reflected on that.
Do you think men should date women that have dated bad boys in the past?
Good question.
Men should date women. That
Do you
have-
think do you think that men should date women that have dated bad boys in the past?
Why not?
I think they might have an
What do you
attitude,
think?
women who date bad boys in the past.
Well, I don't have an attitude.
I think that there's pros and
No, we're
cons
not
to it.
talking about you. We're talking about in general.
In general, I think that there are pros and cons to it. I think for a man who dates a woman who has dated a bad boy in the past, you would hope or you would think that she would learn from the mistakes of the bad boy and appreciate the good guy, right? And then on the flip side of that, I guess there is a negative because a guy who dates a woman who has dated a bad boy before, she will have this
Trauma.
Yep.
or she may bleed on him when he didn't cut her, if that makes sense.
That's a good point.
I feel like there's pros
That
and
is a good point. It's a Medusa kind of point. That's a good point.
cons
So
to
it's
it.
like almost the men of the future have to pay for the mistakes of her past.
I
Yeah.
feel like everybody has to pay for the mistakes of people's past if you're not healing from it and you're not learning from it, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure we've all at some point had a guy that's like trying to go through your phone because some girl cheated on him before.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking your thumb and unlocking your phone when you're sleeping. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Experienced it all.
Yeah.
I think it's more high risk for a guy, obviously, to get involved with a woman that's had a bad past. But a lot of men do like to play the hero.
Good point.
Do you know what I feel like? I feel like
That's-
even though, sorry, do you want to go?
That's why they say save a hoe. That's what I was thinking. Captain Save a hoe.
I was being polite.
That's what I was thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
Funny enough, even though men come across with the stronger personalities than us, I feel like when it comes to relationships and being emotional, I feel like they are kind of more fragile in the sense where one woman will hurt a man and it will stay with him for his whole life. Whereas with a woman, even though we do get hurt and it will take us a while to get over it, we're not gonna portray that in every single situation.
That's
Who talks
such
about
a-
our exes more, men or women?
That is.
Women.
The hurt
No,
party.
but we
There
might
we go,
talk
yeah.
about it, but their demeanor will change. Like the way they act and the way they actually carry themselves will change because of one relationship. That's what I've
What?
seen.
So do you think that men are not as resilient as women, or do you think that men in certain situations allow themselves to be vulnerable, allow themselves to trust a woman, and
Yeah.
she shits on it, and that's why it hits him just as hard
Yeah.
because that is
Good
not
point.
a man's default
Do you
necessarily.
think
I know.
maybe they just learn what works and what doesn't? You know, men are problem solvers.
Do you know
so
what
if
it
they so if they treat a woman like a queen and she treats him like shit and then they realize, oh, if I treat her worse, she treats me better.
Do you know what I think? I think when it comes
They're
to
like, oh, I'm gonna pick
when it comes to thinking, I think men think with logic, women obviously think with emotion. I feel like emotionally it's easier to heal yourself than logically because I feel like logically you're going to be thinking, okay, so the past 2 women did this to me. I need to now watch out for this in the third one. Whereas where certain women are emotional, it's going to be, I don't know, they're going to be more prone to forgive, if that makes sense.
Naively.
And to move on.
So naive. It's
if
crazy.
that also makes kind of sense.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it
it
does.
does make sense. I get where you're coming from, and I definitely think that women, you know, it's biology. Women operate from, you know, the emotional side, and men tend to operate from the logical side. But I think that, I don't know, I'm definitely an emotional woman. I feel everything very intently, but my experiences have led me to be very logical in my decision making, right? So
But
it's
that
like
made no
I can sit
sense.
around and I can be upset.
That made no sense. That sounds like a Tony Robbins playbook. Let me just hear that one more time. This babble that these people say, man.
I feel everything very intently, but my experiences have led me to be very logical in my decision making, right? So it's like I can sit around and I can be upset that my relationship ended, or let's say hypothetically a guy cheated on me, right? I can sit around and, oh my God, he cheated, but I just feel so worthless. What was it? Or I can, okay, cool, look. Oh, all right, that's
You
not
ca-
really the best
You
example
can't
to
make
give.
this shit up,
but
man.
You
My
can
goodness.
look at something logically and be accountable and forgive yourself, and then you don't need to chase the whole emotion thing, if that makes sense. The whole, yeah, I kind of know where I was going with it, but I didn't.
No,
Yeah,
I-
you
I
lost
hear
yourself
what you're
because
saying,
you
but
don't
at
even
the
know
same
what the hell you
time,
want.
I feel like cool in the same situation where we would be on the emotional side of things. Like I said, a guy will now be logically thinking, okay, so cool, this girl has done this to me. Now I'm gonna do this to prevent this from happening again. And
No,
now he's
that's-
gonna
that's
start
okay.
building up
They guard themselves.
that kind of wall. You get it? So it's gonna be a thing
So
where
be
now
weak.
maybe he didn't used to act like this before, but he acts like this now because of what he's been through. But it's
This is a
not
problem
necessarily
solver.
emotional. Not necessarily emotional. It's now kind of wired into
Like
his
a
brain.
problem solver.
Yeah, it's a problem
Yeah.
Just
solver.
problem solver.
So this was the problem, and this is how I'm going to solve the problem by not letting anyone else in.
It's like I
Yeah.
can get the youngest, hottest women by treating them like shit.
Because that's what they want, or that's, at
what
least
they
what they're
want.
alluding
Yeah.
to what they want.
Yeah.
I think the only exception to that in about talking about exes is when a man's been divorced. I think that they do that really plays on their mind, and that's very difficult for them.
All
to move
depends how
past.
bad was the divorce.
What is one thing that you did wrong that contributed to your last relationship
Wow,
or
that's
a
a good
relationship
question.
ending? And you cannot say, I just overlooked a red flag.
I can take this one.
Okay.
I was a coward in my last relationship. I will own that 100%. I was a coward, and I was scared, and I wasn't honest, and I lied, and I think if I hadn't have been so cowardly in the last year of our relationship, we would have parted. We wouldn't have had the war that we had. If I was braver, and I weren't so scared of the repercussions. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll own that.
I know that this is going to make me sound really bad, but
I don't
There he
know
goes.
what what
that
is
one I'm not
she-
entirely sure.
What is she- cowardly? What like?
Been so cowardly in the last year of our relationship,
What does that mean?
we would have parted. We wouldn't have had the war that we had.
What does that mean? I need some of that womanese stuff, man, because I can't. I don't know what she said here. I don't know what she said here.
If I was braver, and I
Braver.
weren't so scared of the repercussions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll own that.
All
I
right.
know that this is going to make me sound really bad, but there he goes. That one, I'm not entirely sure if this was the real reason or it was an excuse for him. But what ended up happening was, long and short of it, at the start of the relationship, he cheated on me, and then he came back asking me to marry him. And then I actually said yes, and then I went back and said, actually, no. I don't feel like marriage is where we're at right now. And it actually did become a bit of an on and off relationship. Actually, I said I haven't done on and off, but in hindsight, it was more on and off, as in break up for a few days and back together.
What does that
not
mean?
like a long period. And the last time that he came back, he said to me, right, let's get back on together. And I said, actually, someone previously that I dated had got back in touch with me.
Folks, this is the therapist, psychologist lady. Oh my goodness.
And we had arranged to meet up for a drink. And I honestly said, actually, I'm not ready to get back for you yet. I've got a date in the diary with this ex that I just actually want to see whether or not I still feel anything towards this person. And that was kind of a big smash to his ego. And for him, that was the final straw.
Okay.
So okay, but would you regret that? What's the point of just telling that story?
So you saw an ex while you guys were dating?
No, once we'd broken up and I thought it was the end, somebody from my past had reached out to me.
Sorry.
So I don't
So
know.
what was the? What were you?
Yeah,
what
there
your
you go. Yes,
accountability
yes. You want to pretend to be perfect. Let's just get it
for
on.
the demise of your last relationship?
Maybe because he wanted to feel like I was the one and only man ever for him and that I wasn't looking at another option.
No, but you're talking about him.
Yeah,
What
see,
was your-
you're talking about him. You're talking about him. We asking you. You see how they do it? You see how they just want to play. And this is the psychologist, therapist lady. Insane.
accountability. What do you think you did? Sorry.
Yeah.
Paul, go
Well,
I'm just trying to-
by showing that I still wanted to explore other options, I guess.
No, man. Accountability is a kryptonite even for this lady. It's crazy.
okay.
I don't know if I was wrong for that. Maybe not. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm confused because I thought that was after you guys broke up or you were together.
So it was he kept breaking up with me and then
Okay.
getting back together like a week later.
So what did you contribute wrongly to this? Why was wrong? Why did you tell this story either way?
Okay.
So in between that, so the time that he actually came back and said, okay, let's get back together, I said, well, in the interim period, when you broke up with me, my ex got in touch and I'm arranging to meet up with him.
So before that, like, what do you think contributed to him, like, breaking up with you?
Oh, insecurity because I called off the engagement.
Okay.
And he felt that I didn't forgive him for the cheating, I guess.
Okay. Oh, not being able to let things go.
Yeah.
Okay.
How will you say that? Pero, I think you effed up in this one. You just let her just go with it without just admitting what she did wrong. That was a bad segment.
Go ahead.
Okay. What was the question again?
What is something that contributed to your last relationship ending? That you did.
That I did.
Yeah, and you can't say I ignored red flags.
Oh, no.
That's always the go-to.
I think what happened was, first of all, we all know I was very young. I've only had 2 boyfriends. So it's this one I've got now and the one before. I think because I have like a real passion for something as well, and I studied it when I was in secondary school, obviously I had to go home because it was long distance and FaceTime him and da-da-da-da-da. It was quite a lot, especially when you have to wake up at like 6 in the morning every single morning and then train until 6 too. And I think it was quite natural. I think it was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm also a bit young for you, and I don't know what I want. Also, if anything, I just kind of wanted to focus on what I was doing because.
So you just weren't that invested in the relationship.
Yeah, I think in the end.
But do you regret that?
Start, I really was, and then I just thought, also, am I like just in this to just be in this? Because I did have such a deep feeling for him, but
you want to be a hoe. Okay,
I
we
was
get
so
it.
young to even
Yeah,
know
you
what it
want to be a
was,
hoe.
really. I don't know whether it was just I loved someone loving me or I don't know.
Yeah, you're only 21 or 22.
Yeah, 21.
Everyone's like, she's only had 2 boyfriends. I'm like, gosh, she's 21.
Yeah.
As many of you know, I was just
I don't know,
banned
but-
on.
Great opportunity for the ladies to take accountability, and Pearl, you messed it. You messed it up. You should have just let them just answer those last snippets. I don't know. I'm just doing the live stream. See, I don't have a lot of time to just edit videos because I have all the YouTube channel, but I'm trying my best to just be in this YouTube channel, just keep giving my insights, right? Hopefully we can do this next week and, keep reacting to these videos because I think they're great. I'll see you.